This is a Kahan TV sports break. It's the return of NFL talk here at Kahan TV Studios. I've been messing with the lights here. I'm hoping that it's a little bit out of my glasses. So we'll see how that looks. But I haven't seen you all since I predicted a dominant win for the Falcons against the Pats in the Super Bowl last year. I was on my way to looking like a genius before the stuff hit the fan for Atlanta. A memorable Super Bowl capped off an excellent season last year, and now we're finally back at it again. The long NFL offseason has finally ended, so enough talk. Now we got some games to watch. Early season NFL was always a little bit of a tough subject for me to broach because of the high turnover rate for teams, and unless you're watching every game with a microscope, it's kind of hard to know who's going to be good. The important fact is that it matters not how good you are. You could be better than every team in history. All that matters is how good you are in relation to the rest of the league this year. And we'll get more of a real feel for that as the season progresses. But for now, we got a few storylines to talk about. The marquee matchup on Sunday and Monday night had their fair share of storylines, from historical division rivals to running backs looking for revenge against an old team that dumped them by the wayside. Both fell a little flat as the Giants couldn't get anything going offensively against the Cowboys, and Adrian Peterson's homecoming fell flat as he was held to only 18 yards on 6 carries. Sorry to anyone who drafted him in their fantasy league. Sell him now. But of the 3 headliners this week, I have something I feel I have an itch to rant on, and that's the ending to the Chargers-Broncos game. The Chargers, now of Los Angeles, with a new lease on life, took to a hostile environment in Denver and staged an almost historical comeback to cut a 17-point fourth quarter deficit to 3. LA was there to play. From that very first drive, fighting their way out of bad field position, they struggled through the first 3 quarters, but they weren't there to give that game away. An incredible fourth quarter saw them on the brink of tying the game with a 44-yard field goal. I have to say that it's an awful, silly, childish rule to allow a team to call timeout literally a split second before the play is run for a field goal attempt. I mean, look at this. What are we, in 3rd grade? I understand it's a game, but we got to have some semblance of respect for ourselves here. We all know what play is going to be run. It's a field goal attempt. I understand icing the kicker is a strategy, but icing a player means to let him sit and think about it. Make him wait. That's fine. I'm fine with that. Coaches do it in basketball for big free throws. But at the point these NFL teams do it, the play is already being run. So they run the entire play, and then they have to do it all over again. It's ridiculous. And I'm not just saying that because I live here in LA and I'm obliged to root for the Chargers now. Sure, I'm happy with how they fought back, but this has nothing to do with that. I just think it's stupid. Change the rule. Don't let the defensive team call a timeout less than 10 seconds before the play clock runs out on a 4th down where we know a field goal or a punt is coming. Simple. And if you think it's just part of the game, maybe so. But I have to drive home the point that I think it's an awful part of a cool sport. Another unfortunate side fact is that we were robbed of an exciting overtime session, and I don't think anyone wanted Week 1's football to end. Luckily, Week 2 is almost here. So that's all I got for this edition of Sports Break, but we'll be back throughout the day to discuss the rest of what happened in Week 1, what we've learned so far, and what we've got going forward. We'll see you all in a little while.